not good at talking in front of people, so I just put some notes down. You're welcome. I usually ramble, like now. So first I want to thank my parents. I don't know where they are. There's some. Oh, they're all over the place. Thank you to my parents, because me and my sister have been playing soccer since we were 4. So, you can't drive at 4. So they've been at everything, always. And they're probably our biggest supporters, as usual, for any young player. And you can't do it without them, because they're everything, and you look forward to seeing them on the sidelines cheering you on. So we appreciate it a lot. Lots of late nights and early mornings in bad weather. I want to thank Trin, especially because she's my friend. And we've been playing soccer together for 14 years, and now we're done. So that's kind of sad. And I made her cry because at our last game, you're already crying because it's over, and we're playing soccer ever again unless you kindle or jet. And I turned to her and I was like, "This was our last game ever." She started bawling. It's great. But I love her a lot, and it's been a crazy, awesome ride full of lots of yelling, bickering, and lots of laughter. So it's been great. Next year she's going to Houston, and I'm staying here. So it's going to be really weird not being together anymore. Most we've ever been apart was 3 weeks, and that was once. Other than that, it's like a day. So it's going to be crazy not being with her, and I'm going to miss her so much. The biggest thing I think I'll talk about tonight is being goalie and what that did for me. Like I said earlier, I hated being goalie, honestly. It was the worst thing I think I've ever done in my life. Should be real honest. Huh? Okay, second cross country. So the biggest thing that I hated about it is it's really hard to switch when you've been playing on the field for 14 years or 13 years to be in goal, because all you've ever done is use your feet, dribble around, pass, make goals, stuff like that, and then you go to catching the ball. It's just really weird, and it's a really weird transition, and it was really, really hard. I think one of the biggest things I had to learn was accepting defeat, because as a goalie, every goal feels like you lost. It doesn't matter if it's in practice or if it's in a game. It's a really hard feeling, especially when you've always been the one scoring the goals or being the defender. For some reason, when you're a defender, it's not quite as hard because you're not the last one, So that was really hard, and at first I beat myself up for it every day, and I hated it, and I cried a few times. But I think that it's probably one of the biggest things in my life that's ever taught me anything. So I'm actually super grateful that I did it. I think another thing it taught me was sacrifice, because I think it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I did it for my girls, because I almost didn't play soccer this year, because there's just a lot of reasons, but I wanted to play my last season because I wanted to be with them for one more year. And so I'm going to miss them a lot. And then I learned the value of team this year because, like Coach said, we had so much of a difference between last year and this year. He told y'all our record, and not only that, but if you watched us both years, which I think most of you have, just the way we look when we play it looks like a different team. And now it's pretty soccer to watch, and I know that because all I ever did was watch it. But it's pretty to watch, and I loved it, and I'm just really glad I say. Anyway, so we learned a lot about communication and teamwork. I think this is the year we finally decided to play for each other and less for ourselves, and I think that was the biggest difference. And effort, that was a huge difference. We've never given so much effort in our lives. I know at every practice we worked so hard. We're harder than we ever have any year before. So I want to thank each of my teammates, Trin, Ginger, Ellie, Jet, Kendall, Macy, Vicky, Liz, Cam, Mop, Olga, Miranda, Valley, and Isabel, and all the JV players that played with us every now and then. Did I get everyone? Yep. And Felicia. And I want to thank my goalie squad, because when you're with goalie, you don't practice with the rest of the team for most of the time, so you're by yourself, except for the 1 or 2 other goalies you have with you. And so you get pretty close, and so that was a lot of fun. And the last thing I want to do is thank my coaches, because as you know, you can't be anything without your coaches. I want to thank Coach Carnley for coming out, because he warmed me up at several games, and his warm-ups were always the hardest. I would be sweating so bad after his warm-ups. That's about it. But he's awesome, and he pushed me really hard to do well, and I think that got me in the right mindset to play. I want to thank Coach Morris for always being there with us. Like he said, he didn't have a class, so he had to come out on his own free time or conference time when he could have been getting other stuff done. And he's always sacrificed for us when he could. and he's been a big part of my training because, like Coach Cook said, he's always been the one shooting at the goalies and helping us out with that and yelling at me for doing weird things and yeah. So, and I want to thank Coach Cook most of all because, like he said, we've never had the same coach for 2 years in a row. We've always had a new coach every year, and so this is the first year we ever had of the same coach that we had the year before. And I think that made a huge difference because, like he said, we had learned to trust him, and we had learned that he knew what he was talking about for sure because we'd seen the work. And once we finally decided to trust him, we became a completely different team. And he's goofy and weird, and he plays with us, and I think that's the coolest thing, even though he's like half broken. No, he is dirty. He is the most dirty player I've ever played against. He took Trent out in the gym. Like, took her out. Yeah, it was really bad. He does that all the time. He pulls you by your jersey. He'll put your arm around his arm around your throat and like elbow you and make sure it's clenched twice. Not to spill or anything.
Soda player ever.
So big thanks to you because you're the backbone of our team and you're super crucial. I'm gonna miss all of y'all a lot, and I just wish you all the best of luck next year, and I'm gonna be at as many games as I can.
Mom.
I'll be right here.